RWBY Volume 7 Chapter 2, a new approach has officially released, so let me break it down for you. So the episode opens up with our characters being transported in the back of a police ship, where we meet this guy. He's here to represent Mantle, figuratively. The residents below believe they are being exploited, and so they fight for better conditions. Led by Robin Hill, whose posters we saw last episode, she intends on running for a seat on the Atlas Council, where she'll presumably try and make a difference. But it turns out our characters aren't headed to jail, rather to Atlas Academy. They finally come face to face with Ironwood and Winter, and he knew it was them? I don't know, maybe Penny told him. After a bit of a reunion between the characters, Ironwood informs everyone of what his plan is. First, he plans on updating the CCT using Amity Arena. And to be honest, I'm shocked it took this long. The CCT, I don't remember when it was first introduced. I don't know if it was Volume 3, Volume 2, or hell, Volume 5. But since its concept, it was the most flawed thing I think I've ever heard. It was begging to be taken advantage of. For those of you who don't know, the CCT was designed to connect each kingdom so they can have contact with one another. But it was designed in a way where if one was taken down, they all were taken down. Because if one kingdom didn't want to talk, none of them should talk. Talk about idiotic design. Probably Ozpin. But that's why Remnant lost contact with each other, because Beacon fell. So Ironwood has the 900 IQ play of, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Plan number 2, tell everyone about Salem's existence. That plan's bigger than the first one. The reason he drew his military back was because when that happens, he expects Panic and Grim to attack. So he wants all hands on deck to defend his kingdom. Without Ozpin around, Ironwood is left to his best judgment to determine what he thinks is best for the kingdoms. And what do our heroes do? Lie! Fuck. What the hell is this? Where did this come from? Oh my god, dude, no, wrap it up, wrap the production, guys. We'll get them next time. Why? Why lie? It's so weird. This decision makes no sense. Nothing convinced them that secrecy was the way to go. So in Volume 6, they uncover the truth about Ozpin. It enrages them, makes them question their purpose, and to some like Crow, shatters his life. They shun Ozpin for his secrets to the extent that he retreats into Oscar's mind palace, and from this point on, it seemed that because of what Ozpin did, they were no longer going to follow in that path.
If we're going to help, if we're going to keep risking our lives, no more lies, no more half-truths.
We were in a train crash, and ever since, well, suddenly Oz wasn't there anymore.
They told Team Juniper about the story, and the genie, and literally everything. Even in the finale of Volume 6, Yang is still pissed at the mere mention of Ozpin's name. But now they lie? What led to this? Crow even makes a statement where he says Ozpin spent his whole life keeping this secret, as if he's accepted the decision Ozpin made. But there was nothing that happened in between then and now that convinced our characters that secrecy was the right way. Hell, it doesn't even seem like they've coped with what Ozpin did. It'd have been one thing if they had told someone of the information they knew, which in turn then came to bite them in the ass, convincing them maybe telling people isn't the right way to go. In fact, holding the information they know from Ironwood is probably the worst option in this scenario. Ironwood, the trusting guy he's trying to now be, told everyone of his plan. He believes he could take the fight to Salem and stop her that way. What he doesn't know is Salem can't be killed that way. She must fall in love, and unless she's got a boner for murder, she ain't going down like that. So what would be the smart choice? Hey Ironwood, she can't be killed by an army. Don't get into a war you literally cannot outlast her in. But they go the Ozpin route of decision making, where if I keep this information secret, then I don't know. I genuinely don't know what they're planning to get out of this. As if Ironwood can't be trusted. And I know they're not gonna change to the side of Ironwood. Something is going to convince Ironwood that Team RWBY's Ozpin route of secrecy is the right way to go. Whether that likely be one of the Aesops betraying him with the information or something like that, I doubt Salem's existence will get out to the world. I think that would be literally the most interesting thing the show could do, And there is a very slight possibility it's going to happen, but it's definitely not going to be because Team RWBY's helping Ironwood. I kid you not, I don't know if there's another show where I'm so often against the main characters. I side with literally everyone else but them in this show. But to make it worse, it's just now all the reasons I've disliked Ozpin. Just now all of those videos I've made about Ozpin, put that onto Team RWBY. I actually hardly had anything against most of Team RWBY for most of this series, but now all of that distrust I've built in Ozpin's character over the years, that all in the span of a single episode just gets transferred onto this lot now. So it's just like, Christ, I want to like you, but you've just adopted the worst traits from the most untrustworthy character. I feel like I'm just talking about Ozpin all over again, because I am. Fuck, I hate Ozpin so much. I genuinely like what Ironwood is doing and his character in this because it feels honest. He's just like, I think this is what's for the better. I'm using as good of my judgment as possible, and this is what I've decided. I've laid my trust in this group, and if people hate me for what I'm doing, they'll thank me later. It feels honest, it feels real. And even if Team RWBY's fear is like, someone might betray you with this information, there's literally no planning for that. Like, how long was Lionheart loyal before he was forced to the other side? Like, you could be the most loyal, trustworthy character, but all it takes is one moment to ruin it. And you can't plan it, you just can't plan whether or not someone will be loyal to you for the entirety of their lifespan. What Ironwood is planning to do is different. It'll shake things up. Now, if Ozpin had tried what Ironwood is suggesting and had failed in the past, then that's a different story, but he's such a secretive little prick that you can't help but not trust him. I like what Ironwood is doing because it not only feels honest and real from this fictional character, but also, it'll change things. If the world learns about Salem and the relics and everything, the entire game has changed. If not, then we're on track for the linear path of progression we've seen for a few volumes now. Anyway, so the characters have yet another, more peaceful encounter with the Aesops until Penny shows them to their dorm where they can update their new clothes. Meanwhile, in the streets, Watts and Tyrion wander about with their evil schemes. I don't have much an opinion on the Aesops just yet, why would I? But something that I've noticed about them that I do like is their character models. Not the way they necessarily look, but the shell of their character model. Like, this chick is muscular as fuck. Crush me, please. But she's the only one that looks like that. And the white guy in the back, I've also never seen another character with the same model that he has. Ever since the Maya switch, I felt like the different sizes and characters has gotten a bit lost. I feel like there was about 3 to 4 base models that were just used to customize a tad differently to each character. Like in Poser, I used to think that Yang was a bit on the thicker side. Bit more meat on her bones than the other girls, and that's not to mention her top heaviness. Now she's like the same size as Weiss, and I feel as though that has been lost. So just by aesthetics alone, I like that these two look drastically different than everyone else. And I hope there's a bit more variety in character models moving forward. On the topic of the animation itself, and this has been a thing I've been saying on and off since the Maya switch, either everyone is really small, or everything is really big. I really noticed it in this scene in the hallway with Penny, like, honey, who shrunk the kids? I don't really have anything to say about it. Just an observation I also wanted to make you aware of. Watts and Tyrion. What are they doing? I don't know, but I'm honestly more interested in Watts. Being a disgraced former Atlas employee, he should provide some interesting story in general here. Hopefully we'll learn about who he was, his association with Atlas, why he was pushed out. I mean, looking at the Salem witch trials over here, Salem's really the only one at this point that has a fleshed out backstory. I mean, people like Hazel, Mercury, and Emerald all have very minor motivations from their past, but they're not the most in-depth backstories. But Watts definitely has a place to really delve deeper here. I assume Tyrion's just here to be the muscle and kill people since Watts doesn't seem to be like that kind of guy. Watts was the one behind the initial robots turning at Beacon, and if, as he describes, there are older models around, specifically in Mantle, he'll be able to take control of them. I assume Penny is in the draw to be hacked as well, but that's like third act sort of events. The Winter Maiden. I don't know. Right now, I just assume it's Weiss's mom because that's presuming it's a character we already know of. It'd be a way to tie in the Schnee family to the whole story, but granted that already seems to be being done through Hill. But then again, I don't know if Jacques is part of the Atlas Council or if he just has influence within it. We're getting into politics and we genuinely don't know nothing about it right now, nor about the Winter Maiden. But something I almost forgot to mention that feels like a return to form is the comedy. This episode felt like those early Beacon days sort of feel. It's a feel that honestly hasn't been there since early Volume 3. It seems like they're really trying to bring back that laid back and less serious tone with the series. And I think that's wise because the serious tone the show has taken hasn't exactly been the biggest success. Like RWBY isn't a drama, or if it wasn't a very good one. RWBY is inherently silly and over the top and stupid crazy, and I think trying to add those elements back in is probably wise. And I really did enjoy the bit on the plane and the bit with the Aesops. So, in conclusion, I'm disappointed that Team RWBY has changed to the ways of Ozpin without reasons as to why. Nothing has convinced them to do it because they have never faced any repercussions from telling his secrets before. Also, politics are a thing and return to form, so to speak. Am I excited? Not if they keep acting like Ozpin, I'm not. I despised who he was as barely even a side character, and putting those traits on the main ones, oh, this is gonna be a long volume.